going live now. I think we're live. I am going to wait for my phone to catch up, but I think we are live. My phone is absolutely not catching up. My phone has absolutely caught up. Alright, there we go. Get it set up so that I have multiple different ways of looking at the chat in case one of them fails. And let's do this, everyone. Let's turn off my music and get started with a lore hunting stream. This is probably going to be a fairly short stream. Actually, turn the music back on for a sec. This is probably going to be a fairly short stream. I doubt it'll break an hour, because today is basically about two things. It is about obtaining footage, and it is about hunting for the lore that I've missed. So, I am going to go through, hopefully until I find each minigame twice, just in case there's something I don't miss in the first time. And I am going to try and get all of them in this one stream, rather than trying to do them, like, in multiple streams, even though I've seen a few of them in past streams, I'm gonna try and get all of them twice in this stream, and then, if we're sub 45 minutes, then I'll just attempt Night 6 over and over. If we're not, then I am just going to play them. If I get all of them before we're at 45 minutes, then I'm going to keep trying Night 6 until 45 minutes. Otherwise, I'm just gonna end stream there. So, that being said, I am going to turn off my music, move my Streamlabs to the side, and let's get going. I'm gonna use the 6th night. I feel like I thought there was a chance it removes the chance of that happening, but I don't think that's actually the case. So, let's wait for the damn thing to load. Why is this game so slow sometimes? There we go. I'm just gonna sit here.
Hello. What on earth are you doing there? Didn't you get the memo? The place is closed down, at least for a while. Someone used one of the suits. We had a spare in the back, a yellow one. Someone used it. Now none of them are acting right. Listen, just finish your shift. It's safer than trying to leave in the middle of the night. We have one more event scheduled for tomorrow.
If the building's on lockdown, why do you have an event? If the building is on lockdown, why do you have an event scheduled for tomorrow? But, yeah, I am going to, I'm just gonna be leaning back like this, because the important part about this stream is not the gameplay itself. It is just the minigames. Yeah. Yes. There we go, puppet jump scare. First time I've gotten a puppet jump scare in this game, other than at the end of one of the minigames, and honestly, it was underwhelming. Okay, so there's nothing to talk about with the game, so story time. Okay, so, story related to the game, actually. So, when I was a little kid, this game absolutely terrified me, because I was 7 when the franchise first came out. So, you know, it was scary. And because it was scary, so it was scary, and, because of that, I frequently just straight up couldn't go to bed because I was so frightened of it. So at one point, my mom tried to figure something out about the game and asked me if it had some connection to, and I quote, the Friday the 13th movies and Freddy and them. Freddy is not the killer in the Friday the 13th movies. Jason, Pamela in the first one, but afterwards, Jason is the killer in those movies. I am going to shift, this, I'm gonna shift my, let's see if this works, wait, okay, that is bad. Sorry, this is what happens when you have such a boring stream that I want to be troubleshooting on the stream to see how to try and get my video working better. So, yeah, as I was saying, my mom knew very little about horror movies, apparently, tried to ask me if the games had a connection to Friday the 13th, or to Freddy, or to the slasher killer, Freddy. Those two things are not connected in the slightest. Freddy Krueger is the Nightmare on Elm Street killer, not the, Freddy Krueger is the killer in Nightmare on Elm Street. He has absolutely no connection to Friday the 13th, but, I mean, I suppose Freddy and Friday sound similar enough that kind of makes sense in some weird way. Sort of, I guess. What else? Goober! Hey, welcome to the chat! How's your day been? I am for once not stressed out while playing Five Nights at Freddy's, because I am just hunting through for all the minigames, which have an incredibly low chance of appearing. So, until then, I'm just sitting here, telling stories, some of which are horror-related. And I had something that my dad said earlier today that I said I was gonna mention in the stream, and I have now forgotten what that thing was. Your day's been good minus the homework? Yeah, that's a mood. I don't know about you, but it is currently my midterm season, so I have been given a bunch of school projects lately. That is why this stream was rescheduled for today instead of yesterday. It was supposed to be yesterday, and then, ooh, yikes. Yeah, for me, marking period ends on Tuesday, so everything is due by then, absolutely zero exceptions, including my project in carpentry, which I am, probably 3 hours from finishing, which, luckily I do have, and luckily, I do indeed get get 3 hours of class time to work on it, but, he doesn't usually give us the full class time, he spends a lot of the time giving us a lesson about what's coming on next, which is very frustrating when you have a project that's due in 2 days, and because it's in the lab work, you can only do it at school, in class, and there is no other time you can do it. Plus, it's tech week for the show I'm directing, so I can't, like, stay after school on Monday, which genuinely I would totally be down to do if I were able to, but I'm not able to because I have rehearsal both of those days. But, yeah, so that is annoying, and also, like I was saying, yesterday I got 2 big new projects in Spanish, both of which are due, well, one of them's due Monday, the other's due Tuesday, and they both involve filming something, which I can't reasonably do at school. One of them involves editing that filming, which I definitely can't do at school. So, yeah, they're due at midnight tonight, so you finished up most of them. That's good. Mine are also, well, one of mine is due midnight on, one of them is due midnight on Monday, the other is due start of class on Tuesday, because we're gonna be presenting it, because it's a slideshow that we're presenting. Like, I like what I'm doing with the project, it's just, oh, you couldn't have given us any more time, Senora? But, yeah, so, oh! That is a yikes! Hopefully these assignments that are due tonight, you can get finished up tonight. Hopefully you can get them finished up pretty well tonight so you can get those grades up, because yikes. Yeah. So, one of my, but yeah, the Spanish projects, there's not a whole ton left for them that I can do in school. I have 5 subjects. Okay. Sorry, for some reason, YouTube is refusing to let me see the ends of your comments, so, you have 5 subjects, you have a B, okay, you have D's in 2 of your classes out of 5 of them, totaling to a B. Okay then. That's, ruh-roh. But that is better than it sounded, at least. But, yeah, I have stuff to do. Yeah, Spanish projects that I have to film. Gotta knock that out tomorrow in the very limited amount of time I have tomorrow, because I also need to work on a slideshow for a video that I am filming with my friend Jax on Sunday. We're gonna film that, it's gonna be a ton of fun, but we cannot move it to any other time because, again, Tech Week. You have you have 2 D's and you have 2 A+. That is an interesting combination, my guy. yeah, so, yeah, Spanish, I gotta film that in the limited amount of time I have to film anything tomorrow, to do anything tomorrow, because I still need to finish up that slideshow. Gonna be so much fun, video's gonna be so good, but, this weekend is the only time that I reasonably can film it, which means I need to finish it tomorrow in, like, 4 hours. And then I'm still gonna need to film the stuff for Spanish, and then edit one of them. That's not happening until Sunday. Possibly Monday afternoon even, but I'm hoping not that. So, yeah, that's gonna be fun. But, that being said, I am still trying to find the lore in this game. You're homeschooled, so yeah, you can check your grades pretty easily. I am not homeschooled, I go to public school, but I don't, but I can also check my grades easily just because my school has it was very annoying in the early days. It has since become moderately less annoying as we've all kind of figured out how it works. Program that we use, I think it's technically called Schoology. I jokingly refer to it as Schoolagoggly because that's what it seems like it should be. Schoolagoggly, and it's certainly haphazard enough that it feels like it would have a name like that. But yeah, it's annoying, and I wish they'd stuck with our older platform. Presumably this one's cheaper. But, you're starting your first year of public school in March. Huh. I genuinely thought, at least in my area, I don't think they let you, actually, scratch that. Yeah, they do let you start a new school year. They do let you join in with a new school during the year, but, why not just come in at the start of the second semester? Why be like that, why wait that long? That just feels like setting you up for disaster. But, yeah. Well, I hope you enjoy public school. I have had my fair share of problems with it over the years, but overall, it's okay. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. But yeah. So, yeah. So that will be but yeah, I hope you enjoy public school. Like I said, I've had my fair share of problems with it over the years, having been in it all my life, including the years where I was on another continent at a school that only spoke Hungarian, a language that I did not speak, and they apparently did not particularly want to teach me. So, yeah, I've had my fair share of problems with it over the years, but especially in high school, it's overall been positive for me, because, it allows me to actually stay in contact with other human beings, which is always important, and also, it's given me an opportunity, to do theater with the school, which otherwise I probably wouldn't have been able to, because if I'd just gone to community theater with no theater experience, For some reason, people really like to see if you can speak Japanese. Huh. Did you live in Japan for a little while? Because anytime I mentioned that I spent a few years living in Romania, one of the first questions that often pops up is asking me whether or not I speak any Romanian. Ah, you use Duolingo. But, yeah. One of the first questions that people tend to ask when they find out that I used to live in Romania is they ask if I ever learned any amount of Romanian. I didn't, because I got put in a Hungarian language preschool, and the people apparently really didn't want to try and teach me Hungarian, according to my parents. So, if they'd put me in a Romanian language preschool, I probably would have ended up learning at least some Romanian, and I'd be like, sort of, kind of, maybe able to speak it right now. Instead, I cannot speak it in the slightest, which is making Spanish class much more difficult than it otherwise would have been, because Romance languages and all that jazz, they would have been connected. But, oh well. This is what happens. That's annoying. I definitely can understand that being frustrating, because, like, I have lots of ancestry from many different places. Primarily, it's Finnish and Dutch, though, on my dad's side. On my mom's side, it's much more of a hodgepodge. But on my dad's side, I am primarily Finnish and Dutch. I don't speak any Finnish or any Dutch. I most likely never will speak either of those languages, because yikes. But, yeah, so that's a thing. But, yeah, I definitely get it. I definitely can understand that being annoying. I speak a very minor amount of Spanish. Okay, no, here's my knowledge of Spanish. If you gave me a list of verbs and told me to conjugate them and what forms to conjugate them into, I probably could. But my vocabulary in Spanish, so my grammar's pretty good, at least for present tense. My vocabulary is non-existent. You've also kind of learned Japanese from songs, because somehow I always find really good Huh. Interesting. Yesterday in Spanish class, I was forced to sing karaoke in Spanish. After a few days of getting to rehearsal with my group, the song we settled on was Recuérdame, the slow, chill lullaby version of Remember Me from Coco, and, it absolutely broke most of my class. You're better at speaking Japanese than you are at, you're better at speaking it than you are at typing it. That makes sense. If you've learned a lot of it from, like, speaking exercises and listening to music in it, it makes sense that you'd be better at speaking it than writing it. But, yeah, so Yeah, when I sang Recuérdame, no, so, you can type the English pronunciation, but you cannot type you can type the transliteration, but you can't type what it would actually be like. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I sang Recuérdame with a couple other people yesterday, and it absolutely broke everyone in the class. Uh, then, uh, then today, then most groups did their karaoke yesterday. One group didn't have all their people yesterday, so they did it today. So today, I watched a bunch of actually Hispanic people fail miserably to sing. I watched a bunch of actually Hispanic people fail absolutely miserably to to sing very basic children's songs in Spanish. It was the song they attempted to do, specifically because they thought it would be easy because it was a kid's song, was Pollito Pio, which is basically just like it's a songified version of our English, like, chicken goes bok bok, cow goes moo, dog goes arf arf, that kind of thing. Good night in Japanese, the English pronunciation is oyasumi. Huh. Alright then. Okay. During this next round, I am going to go on my phone and look up if you can get the end of night mini games. Can you get the FNAF 2 mini games? In night 6. Death minigames are random, rare events that may occur with the, okay. I am not seeing anything. Okay. So, if you die to Golden Freddy, you have a much higher chance of getting them. You have a much higher chance of getting the minigames. So, in that case, let's see. What causes What causes Golden Freddy to appear FNAF 2? Okay. What camera? Okay. I'm actually going to keep the music box wound up this time, so that I can look around. Okay. Sorry if this is not very interesting to watch. I'll get back to having an actual conversation and stuff. Which camera does with... Awesome. Good to still have you here, Goober. Golden Freddy. Camera 2B. Okay. Okay. Hang on. I always forget that apparently, I always forget that you can flash the light in the, you can use your flashlight in the cameras, because A, that doesn't make any sense, and B, there's no context under which you'd want to waste power doing that. I also do not see it. This is also cam 02, not cam 2B, and I do not see a poster, so I am guessing that that prompt I got was for FNAF 1. FNAF 2. Apparently they're giving out ice cream pizza. Huh. Gummy pizza. That might actually be worse. Okay, okay, okay. The wiki, all it tells me about him is while Golden Freddy's withered counterpart features as an antagonist from Night 6 onwards, Golden Freddy appears in his original form in the Night 3 cutscene, and does not tell me anything about when he appears or why. Wow. Real freaking helpful. FNAF wiki. Freddy FNAF 2. All of this is about FNAF 1. Ooh, yikes. Yeah. But how do I make him appear? So, Google is either telling me how to summon him in FNAF 1, or it's not, or it's just telling me, starting from night 6, he will sometimes appear. Which, neither of those are the slightest bit helpful. Okay, yeah. Neither of those are helpful. Oh, hell yeah! Finally, I got a death minigame. Save him. Alright. Here, we get to the important part. Purple guy shows up, and Charlie gets shanked after crying a lot. I know there's the letters in the background, but the thing is, I know what the letters say. I'm looking for stuff that we haven't all caught. Everyone knows that in Take Cake to the Children, you hear Save Him in the background. So, like, I know there's lore there, but we all know what that lore is. I'm looking for stuff like how Save Them ends with you, for some reason, seeing It's Me, which I have never seen anyone point out, and is very, very strange. Okay, I am actually going to treat this one run-through somewhat normally. Because I want to see... Oh, okay. Yeah, for the next few rounds, I'm gonna try to keep the... Wow. That was fast. I got 2 of them in a row. Give gifts. Give life. Alright. Yeah, okay, Goober, I said this at the top of the stream, but I don't think you were here yet. I am going to try and get each of these... I'm gonna try and get each minigame twice. Because just getting it once, I'm not 100% sure that I'll catch everything. So, I want to see if I can't... So I want to try and get them multiple times. Oh, hey, brother Chica. I'm gonna keep the music box somewhat wound up, at least... Yeah. least in... Okay, I don't think Golden Freddy works on poster rules in this one, because I can't find any posters that look like they might change. So, I think I'm just gonna go back to sitting, looking at stuff on my phone sometimes, and just chatting. Okay. I just want to check one thing. Give gifts. Give gifts, give life. Help them. Okay, yeah. Apparently, the Golden Freddy jump scare changes your point total to a random number, all of which are 4 digits, and yet none of which are 1987. That's completely fine, Goober. Nothing interesting happened. Except for the fact that apparently, at the end of Give Gifts, Give Life, except for the fact that I found out, apparently, Give Gifts, Give Life ends with apparently, Give Gifts, Give Life ends with one of the ends with Golden Freddy changing your score to something random, and yet 1987 isn't one of the things that it can change to, which just kind of surprised me. Oh, hell yeah, another death minigame. Save them. Okay. This is one that I'm really interested in checking stuff for, because on one of my previous attempts seeing this, I got the text at the end of the game, at the end of the minigame, I got text that said, it's me, and that was really weird, because it's me is not related to the puppet, however it is related to Golden Freddy. Yeah, these minigames, I know the primary way they end is that you touch the dead children. One of the ways they end is apparently you just drawing them out too long. The game just gets bored. Oh, see, in that time I didn't get It's Me at the end of that, which was really weird, and I don't know why it sometimes appears and sometimes doesn't. I didn't know you could have your flashlight active while you got jump scared. I'm just going to look around to make absolutely... Oh, hey there, Chica. It's a really cool image. Seriously, the camera renders in this game are so good, but you never have to use the camera, because you can get by perfectly fine by only lifting up your camera to put the baby to sleep, and otherwise you will be completely fine. You tried to get ice, but it just became mush. Oof. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to set my phone back in this position. That's a really cool image for Mangle. I'll also be totally honest, part of why I'm doing this stream is because FNAF 2 has really great camera renders, but because I already knew the optimal strategy for the game going in, I just, I had no reason to look at most of those camera renders, so I am kind of just looking around to see a lot of the sick FNAF 2 camera shots that you otherwise don't have to see, and I didn't see. Hey, Puppet. Hang on. Sorry. I thought I had seen a bit of text in the top corner. It was just my battery. I thought I saw some text up here during the jump scare, but I have my phone so that I can see what y'all are seeing, and it was just the battery. That's all I was seeing. Oh, so that's where Withered Bonnie is supposed to start by hanging out. Where does Withered Foxy start? My guess would be either Kids Cove, because Foxy and Pirates Cove, or in... Oh, hell yes, another minigame. Ooh, yes, the only one that I haven't gotten yet, I think. Foxy, go, go, go! Hooray! Wait, yeah, I have gotten this one. Okay, so I think I have gotten all of the minigames in the past. Yeah, I have gotten all of the minigames before, but I'm doing this, but I'm doing it again this time, because, A, I want to make sure there wasn't any super big lore that I missed, and B, I want to make sure that, I want to make sure there was no big lore I missed, and I want to make sure that there was nothing, and I want to make sure that I have footage of all of the minigames in one place, so that if I need to reference them in a video, I have access to them. Okay. Foxy is not in Kids Cove. It's cold in your area. Last night it was like 42 degrees. Yeah, it is definitely cooling down where I am. I think it's a little under 60 right now, and this is probably the warmest night we've had in a while. I'm starting to think that puppet jump scares make you less likely to I'm starting to think that getting jump scared by the puppet makes you less likely to get a death minigame. It is entirely possible that is wrong, but I am going to test that hypothesis. Because I have no evidence to the contrary. And I do have evidence that I don't think, ever gotten a jump scare in any context other than, I don't think I've ever gotten a death minigame that was from the puppet, and I've had quite a few that weren't. That being said, it's a lot more work to do it this way, so I can't chat with y'all as much. If you're wondering, I don't need to do that. If you're wondering why I'm flashing the light, it's because I want to see if Golden Freddy is there. I don't think he is, and I know that this has taken significantly longer for me to get jump scared than it's supposed to, because I've been resetting the puppet. And I've been keeping Foxy in check, which is not what you want to be doing. I think I had Withered Freddy in my office when the puppet got me. Okay, so, let's see. In this minigame, I've gotten 1 save them. I want to get 2. I've gotten, give gifts. I've gotten 2. Okay, so, I can wrap this stream up the next time I get save them. So, yeah, next time I get to save them, I'm gonna wrap up the stream. God only knows how long it'll be until the next time I get to save them, but... But, yeah, next, so, I want to get save them once more. Really, I want to get it twice more so that I can get it once death via touching one of the animatronics, and once death via touching one of the dead kids. But I am not gonna do that, because I am not about to wait that freaking long for this. But, yeah, so, just update on what streams are gonna be happening, in the near future, I guess. Tomorrow, no stream. Sunday, possibly, I might stream in the afternoon. Not afternoon, I might stream in the evening. It'll depend on... many factors, then going forward for the rest of the week, it'll depend on how much homework I get. Hell yeah. Save them. Yes. Okay. I'm starting in the same location as before, so I am not going to follow the puppet. I am just going to go wherever the hell I feel like. The fan. I didn't even know you could find the fan. Okay. Okay. What? Okay, no, it's me again. Okay, I am genuinely starting to question my own sanity because I don't know if the save them, if the save them, it's me was actually there, and I don't know what stream that would have happened in. So, I said that the next time I got save them was going to be the time that I stopped playing. That is not the case. I'm going to get save them one more time, because I need evidence that I'm not insane in regards to seeing it's me in save them. Okay. Yeah. If I don't see Golden Freddy next time I get save them, which is what I was going for, as I feel like that might potentially have some impact on how you get it's me, because, you know, it's Golden Freddy's catchphrase and all that. Yeah, if I don't, I have a theory. In the graphic novel, it says a boy named Mike was it. Huh. Okay, so that's not just in the graphic novels, that's in the Silver Eyes trilogy. Okay. So, yes. So, I see where you're... Wow. Okay. So, I see where you are coming from in regards to that. I see where you're coming from, but here's why I don't think that makes much sense. To my knowledge, Michael Brooks in the Silver Eyes trilogy did not have any siblings, and if he did, they certainly weren't Elizabeth Afton. And we are pretty confident at this point that Abby is, if not exactly the same person, then is going to be a parallel to even if they're not exactly the same, then it's going to be a parallel to Elizabeth, because obviously Mike Schmidt, Michael Afton, those two are definitely connected. So chances are Abby, whose name is an anagram for baby. Okay, yes, Elizabeth would be like 30 by now, but I don't think, but we know this game's not one-for-one. We know the movie's not going to be one-to-one with the main timeline, because it's set in the 90s, possibly the early 2000s, I don't know, but it has Vanessa in it. Which means that we know it must have been something. Yeah, well, we know that there are things that aren't going to be one-to-one parallels, so I feel like Abby equals Elizabeth is a fairly strong possibility. So, but yeah, I see where you're coming from. I don't think you are quite on the mark, but I definitely see the possibility. But yeah, so okay. Yeah. So yeah, I like the idea. I don't think that also I like the idea, but I don't think you'll be quite right. However, it is possible. But if I'm right that Abby is Elizabeth, as most of us are, as most of us are pretty sure is the case, then it is possible there will be a connection there, because in the game's timeline, it is largely understood that Golden Freddy is possessed by two spirits, Cassidy, or not technically Cassidy, the vengeful spirit, the one you should not have killed, but Cassidy, and so one of them is Cassidy, the other one is the crying child, Evan Afton. So, is it a possibility? Sure. So, okay. If you are right that Abby is not Elizabeth, then you're probably not right that Golden Freddy is Abby's brother. Alternatively, if you're wrong that an Abby is Elizabeth, then there's a very solid chance that you are right and Golden Freddy is possessed by Abby's brother, not just Abby. Or, not just Abby's brother, also Mike's brother. Evan, or possibly another name that we will find out. I heard something about, I don't know. I heard something about a name that people were suggesting might be, the crying child's name in, the movie. Okay, I wonder if me clicking during the static has a connection. Because I did tend to do that for a little while I was getting lots and lots of minigames. And now, I am not getting that as much. So, and I'm also not doing the clicking. So, I don't know. We're thinking about it, at least. That's a really cool render for Withered Chica. And that's a really somewhat cool model for Withered Freddy. The Withereds really do move fast. Like, the toys were all stationary except for Mangle by the time I got a jump scare. But by the time I got that jump scare, all of the other Withereds had been moving. So, I don't know. But, yeah, so, in short, Lizzie equals Abby, possible. I'm pretty convinced of it. And if it's the case, then I think your previous theory might be on the mark despite you getting there through alternate means. Okay, seriously though, where does Balloon... Ah, okay, Balloon Boy starts there. Okay. Yeah, I don't think my clicking on the static has anything to do with it. Yeah. Hydrate or die, kids. It's important. As they say at my school sometimes, rev your bav. One time I had a classmate genuinely and unironically go up to a teacher and, instead of asking, can I refill my water bottle, ask, can I go rev my bav? Which was such an amusing sentence for the rest of us to be like, what, huh? What? Dude. Huh? 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 The puppet. I was so focused on just kind of looking at the puppet because the puppet's cool that I didn't even notice there were two wizards in my hallway. Okay. I really want to see if I can't get the "it's me" moment in in Save Them, but like, man, it's 8:10 already. I can't keep I can't keep this up. I'm if I don't get from completely fine, Goober. Again, nothing is really happening in the... Nothing's really been happening this stream. But, yeah, so... So, if I don't save them well, I've found that there's sometimes a pattern where, like, you get 2 or 3 minigames in fairly quick succession. So, if I don't get a minigame at all this this attempt, then I'm calling it quits on the stream. Sorry. If I do get if I do get an attempt, if I do get any minigame, I will continue until I go 3 attempts in a row without it. Your FNAF hyperfixation's finally dying out. It took like 2 months. Good for you, buddy. Mine is yet to do that. Okay, so... Well, I know I said that last one was gonna be the last one. I said that last time it became a pastime. But then I automatically clicked, so guess we're here again. You know what? Let's take this seriously for once. I don't think I'm gonna win it, but we can try. You've already found a new game to hyperfixate on. Cool! What is it? If it sounds at least kind of interesting, I might check it out. Because after I finish the FNAF games, Amore, oh, I have heard many very good things about that game. Yeah, I have heard many very good things about Amore. So, I am going to check it out, one of these days. I don't know exactly when I'm gonna check it out, but sometime. But eventually, I've got to check it out, because I've heard so much talk about how that game is awesome. Yeah, sadly, YouTube spoiled some of the endings. It sucks when that happens, but at the same time, like, half the time, YouTube spoiling me the endings for stuff is the reason that I check it out in the first place, because I'm like, that sounded dope. How do we get there? Hey, Bonnie. How are you doing? Oh, jeez. Didn't flash enough. Okay. Does anyone else think it's kind of weird? Okay. That's it for this stream. I'm gonna end with a little just chatting segment to talk about what I was about to talk about. Okay. Does anyone else think it's kind of weird how, oh crap, where was that train of thought going? Oh, does anyone else think it's kind of weird how when Mangle is in your vents, you can hear their static, but when they're in your hallway, you can't? Like, that's never quite sat right with me. Anyway. Goober and anyone else still in chat, although I don't think there is anyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been a blast. I will be back, either Sunday, yeah, see you, Goober. I'll be back either Sunday or sometime next week, not Wednesday or Friday, but sometime next week, with another stream, and until then, stay ultra, and peace out.